Morning.
Good morning.
It's 5:45 in the morning.
And we're off to Mongolia.
It's already really busy here at the train station.
Yeah.
But we've timed it well. We've got about an hour and a half up our sleeve.
Yep.
So we can just relax now. And yeah, we're really excited.
We are so excited.
April couldn't sleep.
We've got all of our food and supplies ready for the train. I've had
Yep.
about 3 hours sleep, but I feel fantastic because I'm just so pumped to go to Mongolia.
And this is our last morning in China, which
It is, yeah.
is a little sad because we don't really feel like we got to see enough, but
No,
we
but
had a good taste.
Yeah, it's such a big country. I mean, you can't see it in 2 weeks, but we did our best.
Did.
It's time for Mongolia. So here we are, we're at the gate and we're about to board. So excited! We're all checked in. Let's check out our cabin. We've got first class, so hopefully it's spacious.
We've got about 27 hours on this train. So
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We have plenty of food and water, and we've got board games and things, so we should, we'll probably just be looking out the window the whole time.
And we've had a decent walk this morning.
Yeah. I can't believe we're about to go on the trans-mongolian. This is the start. This is us. Ooh, this is nice. This train is due to depart at 7:27 and my clock says 7:27. We'll see how on time these trains are. Oh, and we're moving. There you go. 7:27 and 30 seconds.
Journey begins.
We have officially started the trans-mongolian.
Well, our first train experience on this trip for an overnight train was completely the opposite to this. We were sitting in a seat all night. I didn't really sleep that well. There was a lot of noise, a lot of stuff going on. But we've got our own room on this train. We have beds, we've got a shower, we've got our own bathroom. We share it with the cabin next door. We've got a table, chair. We've just got plenty of room to move and such a nice big window to look out of. It's luxurious. We're really going to enjoy this one. Noodles. For lunch, dinner and lunch tomorrow. Oh, and crackers. Of course, crackers. Alright, so glad that we did this trip. Particularly just seeing the landscape has been amazing. So we left Beijing and we got to the outskirts of the city and then we started passing through these mountain ranges. They're just incredible and I'm so glad that I didn't fall asleep. I was feeling quite tired, but if I'd fallen asleep I would have missed it all. And we went through tunnels, we saw rivers, it's just incredible landscape, and some of the mountains were so high that I had to go right to the edge of the window to see the tops of them. So that was my favourite part so far on this journey. We've been going for about 12 hours, and now we're out into pretty much dead flat countryside. It's really sparsely populated. We're just seeing like farmhouses dotted around now. I think it's only going to get more arid and less populated as we head towards the border. But it's just been such an interesting journey so far, just seeing the towns and the settlements, how people live, and seeing the contrast between the old style of housing and what they're building now. They've got these huge apartment complexes and some of these settlements that just stand out so much because we're in the middle of nowhere and you just have these huge buildings. It's quite incredible to see how people live out here.
8 p.m. We've been on the train for 12 and a half hours now and we're wondering how much longer it is to the border. So I opened up my Maps.me and looks like we are almost at the border. We're about to enter Mongolia.
Well, that was the attendant. We just got our immigration cards, so looks like we're about to cross the border. time to fill these out and then get into Mongolia.
The train tracks in China and Mongolia are different gauges. So when you cross the border from China into Mongolia, the train actually needs to be adjusted. I'm not sure exactly what they do. We're not allowed off the train at the moment to see what they're doing. The train is going back and forth, jolting each way. It's been doing that for about 40 minutes now. Sometimes go into a workshop looking area and then we jolt back out. So I don't know if it's more automated than maybe what it used to be, but I think it's a slow process that might take a couple of hours, so we might be going back and forth for a little bit longer. Our passports are still at the Chinese Immigration Centre, so we're just a little bit confused about the whole process, but at least we know that the changing of the gauges actually happens, because I could imagine if you weren't aware of that, then this whole process would be even more confusing.
Okay, the lights are just gone out and we're still moving back and forth. So in the meantime, we're just going to sit here and have a cup of tea. Spill it all over ourselves.
Right, so I've just come out of my cabin and realised that my carriage it's been detached from the other one, and that's part of our train. So they've taken this carriage off and they're doing something with the gauges. That's part of my train, that's part of my train, and I'm on my train. This process exists because China purposely made their train tracks a different gauge so that they couldn't get anyone from Mongolia or Russia coming in on their established train tracks. And it's still that way, even though they've got the trans-mongolian, the trans-manchurian, it's still this process when you cross the border out of China. So we can feel the carriage going up ever so slightly now. So we're on the rise and they're going to change the wheels underneath us now. It's a pretty big process.
We've got approximately 4 hours before we're in Ulaanbaatar, so we're just going to kick back and enjoy the last bit of this train trip.
We're currently at the Mongolian-China border. Is that right?
Well, I don't think we are.
No?
No, we could be.
So we're still on the train. Where are we?